Shalom, it's the brother Kadash. I want to start off by giving our praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakat, Wadash. This is going to be named on the lines, the Dispersed Part 2. I had some more precepts that I needed to get through from the first one, so this is what we're going to do. Back on the Dispersed. So really this is all based around Isaiah 11, because what's the Dispersed? The Dispersed of Israel, meaning that we were dispersed into all these different lands and all these different nations on the earth. So it's not, I must say this, it's not that all nations could be saved. It's that the Israelites were scattered amongst all nations have the chance to be saved, because to them was given the promise. This is the reason why you can't go in the Bible and see Esau should be saved. You can't see the words Moab should be saved. You can't see the word Ammon shall be saved. But you could clearly and easily see the words Israel should be saved. You see what I'm saying? I see some brothers on Facebook, they was a part of the Christian thing, but they put a twist to the Christian thing, and then they said they were Hebrews because they said they are the chosen people, but they still believe everybody could be saved. Now, we did all this arguments like a couple years ago. We did all these debates, all these arguments, all going back and forth, debating each other on what the truth is and who's right and who's wrong, what Mystery Babylon is. Just to fast forward to today, and now they Hebrew Israelites, and they fully coming into the Hebrew Israelite thing. It's like, man, you guys stiff-necked, but at the same time, I still give all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, because I'm happy that they coming into the fold and they waking up to the truth. But they did all that fighting, you see what I'm saying? Which they still ended up in the same point that they was fighting against. So it just shows you this truth. You can't, this is the truth of the Lord. And we breaking it down. So let's keep doing that. So let's go back to Isaiah 11. You can't fight against it. You only can make this thing stronger, man. Whether you want to get it now or get it later, that's up to you. If I was a bet man, I wouldn't bet my salvation on that, So we going to see, because the Lord could close the door at any time, and you could be left on the outside. So this is Isaiah 11. We're going to go back to verse 11 to get back to breaking it down. Right now, verse 10, because I like verse 10 to set it up, because the Christians say, look, this means all people on earth. No, it don't, because verse 11 cuts it, and verse 12. Right? So Isaiah 11, verse 10. And in that day, there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for the inside of people. So they say, the Christians say, which we are the real Christians, by the way. Just a disclaimer, because it just means a follower of Christ. Right? But the religion Christian, that's what we're talking about. It says, which stand for an inside of people. So they just say that mean anybody. No, that don't mean anybody. If I got a classroom and I say anybody that get their homework done could go early, am I talking to everybody in the school? Am I talking to the classroom next door to us? No, I am not. I'm talking to my classroom, even though I use the word anybody. It's just that simple. Sluggy, I got somebody coming. I'm going to come back. And stuff like that. I'm here at the dealership and stuff like that. So, we're going to get straight back into it. So now let's go to Joel 3, because we're talking about the dispersed of Israel. So if you seen verse part 1 of this video, then we went into Ezekiel 37. And at the end of Ezekiel 37, the Lord, matter of fact, let's go to it, right? The Bible, which we say the Lord because it's the word of the Lord, even if he did, see, that's the thing about it. Even if the Lord didn't speak it, let's say Apostle Paul or Ezekiel wrote this, it's still the word of the Lord, so it's still the same if the Lord spoke it. And that's what people don't understand, and that's a big divide too, because people say, well, that's just his writings. No, but that's the word of the Lord, though. Because the Lord gave him that. And the Lord, whatever this man wrote in the Bible, the Lord put the Bible together. The Lord is the word. So it's not really about Apostle Paul wrote this or Ezekiel wrote this. It's the word of the Lord at the end of the day, the Bible. So that's what it is. And that's a big debate, But in Ezekiel 37 at the end, right, verse 28, it says, and the heathen should know that I, the Lord, do sanctify Israel. So it's making a difference between heathen, which are other nations. I mean, it's not that hard to look it up, right? And Israel. Not that the heathen and Israel going to be one people together. No. The northern kingdom and the southern kingdom of Israel is going to be one people together. It says, when my sanctuary should be in the midst of them forevermore. So it's saying, look, the sanctuary is in the midst of them, actually. I got somebody else coming up here. So let me see what's going on. In Joel chapter 3. sometimes I gotta cut the video up if I'm at work. I got customers coming in and stuff like that. I gotta deal with them. So you might see the video cut up like that. But let's go straight into it. So we was talking about who the Lord gonna put his sanctuary in the midst of, right? Which is clearly Israel, right? So before I even get to Joel 3, because this whole topic, going over the whole topic is the Lord getting or bringing back together the Israelites, right? So let's go back to Joel 2. Let's go back to Joel 2. And then we'll come back to Joel 3. Right? The gathering, the dispersed of Israel. That's who salvation is for. Because what is the gathering? That's salvation. And then we can get into how the Lord is going to do it. Right? But this is Joel 2, starting at verse 27. It says, and ye should know that I'm in the midst of Israel. So just like Ezekiel 37 said, my sanctuary should be in the midst of Israel. You see the common theme throughout the Bible? It says, and ye should know that I'm in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your God. Now watch this. So that's enough, right? Right? So what the wacky-tacky Christians and vocab say is that anybody that believes could be saved. But this says, I'm in the midst of Israel, and says, I am your God, and none else. The Bible is going further. The word of the Lord is going further to say, look, I'm in the midst of Israel, but also none else. No other people, right? It says, then let's keep going. It says, and my people should never be ashamed. So this is something that we're not ashamed to say, because we understand through prophecy that the other nations, they got their blessings and they got their promise from the Lord. The thing is, they blessings and they promise is not the blessing and promise that was given to the Israelites. So our blessing, our promise pertaining to us, like Romans 9 say. They blessings, they promise pertaining to them. They can't have their blessings, they promise, and then come try to take our blessing, our promise, because it's the kingdom. You see how that works? And that's what all these nations do. That's why they claim to be us. That's why so many nations claiming to be the Israelites, because they want that promise, man. That's why you got people like vocab that try to substitute the Israelites out and assert, which is an assertion, that anybody that believes, or the Catholic Church say it, or Christians say it. They try to assert themselves in the promise that was given to only the Israelites. But we not ashamed. So now let's go to the next chapter, right? And see how the Lord is going to do all this. This is Joel chapter 3, right? This is verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time shall I bring again the captivity. No, he's going to bring again the captivity of the whole world, anybody that believes. No, it says I'm going to bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, which stands for what? Northern kingdom and southern kingdom, just like it said in Ezekiel 37. Am I making this up, man, or am I just reading the Bible straight? What it's saying? Right, now verse 2, I will also gather all nations. Now watch why. And bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and my heritage Israel. So the Bible is saying the Lord's people